Spread love everywhere you go. Let no one ever come to you without leaving happier. If you judge people, you have no time to love them. Kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless. Do not wait for leaders. Do it alone, person to person. We cannot all do great things, but we can do small things with great love. Peace begins with a smile. The greatest science in the world, in heaven and on earth, is love. Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples. Love begins at home, and it is not how much we do, but how much love we put in that action. Spread love everywhere you go. Let no one ever come to you without leaving happier. The hunger for love is much more difficult to remove than the hunger for bread. If you can't feed 100 people, then feed just one. Joy is a net of love by which you can catch souls. Every time you smile at someone, it is an action of love, a gift to that person, a beautiful thing. It's not how much you give, but how much love you put into giving. Let us touch the dying, the poor, the lonely, and the unwanted according to the graces we have received, and let us not be ashamed or slow to do the humble work. Intense love does not measure, it just gives. Love is a fruit in season at all times, and within reach of every hand. The most terrible poverty is loneliness, and the feeling of being unloved. We think sometimes that poverty is only being hungry, naked, and homeless. The poverty of being unwanted, unloved, and uncared for is the greatest poverty. I can do things you cannot. You can do things I cannot. Together we can do great things. The success of love is in the loving. It is not in the result of loving. Of course, it is natural in love to want the best for the other person, but whether it turns out that way or not does not determine the value of what we have done. Love is not patronizing, and charity isn't about pity, it is about love. Charity and love are the same. With charity you give love, so don't just give money, but reach out your hand instead. Let us more and more insist on raising funds of love, of kindness, of understanding, of peace. Money will come if we seek first the kingdom of God. The rest will be given. There must be a reason why some people can afford to live well. They must have worked for it. I only feel angry when I see waste, when I see people throwing away things that we could use. The problem with the world is that we draw the circle of our family too small. We, the unwilling, led by the unknowing, are doing the impossible for the ungrateful. We have done so much, for so long, with so little. We are now qualified to do anything with nothing. If you want a love message to be heard, it has got to be sent out. To keep a lamp burning, we have to keep putting oil in it. God doesn't require us to succeed. He only requires that you try. Love is not something you feel. It's something you do. A life not lived for others is not a life. I try to give to the poor people for love what the rich could get for money. No, I wouldn't touch a leper for 1,000 pounds, yet I willingly cure him for the love of God. Let us be kind to one another, for most of us are fighting a hard battle. Loneliness and the feeling of being unwanted is the most terrible poverty. We need to find God, and He cannot be found in noise and restlessness. God is the friend of silence. See how nature, trees, flowers, grass, grows in silence. See the stars, the moon, and the sun, how they move in silence. We need silence to be able to touch souls. Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. The good you do today may be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. Let us touch the dying, the poor, the lonely, and the unwanted, according to the graces we have received, and let us not be ashamed or slow to do the humble work. In this life, we cannot do great things. We can only do small things with great love.